Hello guys, what's going on? ASAS bring to you another wonderful photo editing tutorial. Today we'll be looking at how to edit your portraits, just little touches and then make them look the way they are supposed to. So for those of you that are new to the channel, this is ASAS Studio. We do tutorial about photography and music production. All right, so this is where we teach you more about using your software and how to edit your photos and give you some tips and do's and don'ts. But you can actually to develop your skills so that it gets you started to where you are supposed to be, so that you can do things on your own. So make you stand independently skilled. All right, so that's that. So today let's just go into the tutorial we have for today. And this is a picture I downloaded online from freerawphotos.com. You can check that. They have tons of photo you can use for practicing. And I just thought of using this one to demonstrate the tutorial I want to do today. So now here we have Capture One. This is a Capture One tutorial, and we want to be doing some edit to this photo. So you can see how before and after we've not actually touched it, but whoever took the photo, it's a beautiful photo, but it just needs just little touches to make it feel okay and feel all right. So we're not trying to change the photo here, we're just trying to fix it or just trying to correct it and make it look like the way we want it to look. So enough of the old talk, let's dive into the tutorial. All right, so on the histogram here we can see we're on the exposure panel. Okay, so on the histogram you can see a uniform histogram except all this side, and I can tell that the black she's putting on is this one. So if you over it, you see it's the black, and the brightest side is this place. So we have the brightest side, which is our face and the rest, and then our mid-tones are this side. It's also bright, so this place will be the mid-tones. Okay, so enough of that, and you can see that some places are just too bright. You can see just below our neck here, and also our ends are just kind of bright, and we don't have enough details to we have details but not enough details. So before taking this photo to Photoshop and then fixing the photo, we can fix our blemishes over here. But let's try and see what we can do to the photo before taking it to Photoshop and then making things more interesting. So let's start with a photo. I'm just going to try to make this very quick. So create a new fill adjustment layer, and then that's what we're going to be doing. This one is okay, let's just rename it photo adjust exposure. Just name it anything. You can see I didn't type that right, but let's just continue with what we have. So right here I'm just going to go to the exposure panel, and then the eye contact, eye dynamic range, and then I'm just going to decrease. So just take note of the changes it's actually making. Take note of the highlight and our skin tone. What is actually happened? We have this before, and then bringing it back just a little bit, to create more. So I believe we can adjust the white, because as we shift the highlight back, it's actually taking the histogram backwards. So if the white cannot do that, we go with the the highlight. So let's use the highlight then in place of that. So we're just going to bring it all the way back, and then we have some white on our face, so we're also going to not just take that down just a little bit, like so. Okay, so we can see our before and then after. So we got some details, we've captured some details on our skin. I'm just going to increase this just a little bit so we don't just turn the photo to just something flat. So we have this, and you can see that more details have been introduced, unlike before that we have this side which is almost clipping, if not, it's not actually clipping, but yeah, you can see some places actually clipping on our earrings. So then you can see that before, then after, we actually remove just a little bit of that. So we can also reduce the brightness. Let's see about the brightness. Okay, so we've actually reduced the brightness, and the photo looks cool. So I'm just going to just a little bit, and let's zoom in and see if okay. So we see just but I think that is actually okay. for the photo instead of this to from this from this to this. Okay, so let's continue with what we have now. Little edit on our face. Let's try and do something with the what's this tool called again? All right, so let's continue with where we stopped. So from this one, I said we need to just fix a little thing on the photo. If you feel like, oh, the photo is just too bright, you can also create another adjustment layer. But I feel like I'm actually okay with this one. Then we move to another part, which is the healing of just below our face. I want to remove just this little part. So Capture One is going to do a good job for us if we just follow what it's going to do. So just follow me. Just click on this healing tool brush. If I hover over it, you see the name. It says draw healing mask. So it will automatically create a layer for you when you click. So I just want to click on that so you can see the heal layer clicked. And if you go close to it, it actually replaced it with another part of the photo that I fixed that, oh, this is right. So we can actually continue doing that. So I'm just going to leave all this. It's just part of our identity. So you need to actually take that out. I'm just going to click here and then it's going to sample with somewhere it's actually close. So most of the things here too. So you can see now when the arrows are too much, you can actually turn it off. You can actually see this kind of hair. So I don't know about that, but it's actually gonna replace it. But that thing look okay to me. So I'm just gonna leave that. And I'm not trying to change the photo just the way. I'm just trying to make it look okay like before. So just some certain places you need to just free. And so we have somewhere here also. Have somewhere here also, and then this one. Oh, you can see that I can actually move Control Z. Okay. Okay. Let's just leave that alone. So actually, good. So we can turn off the layer and then turn it on back. Only if we over it, that's when you see it. So click on the select tool and now let's click another adjustment empty layer. So to work on the skin. So we'll call this skin and then we're just going to select where is needed. So I'm just going to select a skin, just a skin, and then Photoshop is at Photoshop. So Capture One has selected all, but we don't need all. So I'm just going to undo that and then I'm going to select again. Okay, not all, not all. I think I'm working too fast. Let's decrease the tolerance and then the refine edge. Okay, opacity size. Let's decrease the size a little bit. Okay, then now let's select just where we need. We have that. Let's select our skin tone. We have that. Then our hands too. Just this side. So I guess I already found where I want our skin to look like. So just try and select just the places. Make sure you cover most. Okay. Yeah. So capture all we want to do. We can as well remove it from some places we don't want it to. So just small beneath our end. Alright, so now take this other brush and then we're just going to erase it from some parts. Just a hair. So you can do more with this layer panel thing. I'm just going to zoom in and then remove it from turn off the exposure warning. You can see a lot of cannot be fixed. Just going to remove from where we don't need it. Okay. So don't bother yourself about the mask. You can always take your time and then refine. You can use the luminosity and then remove it from places you don't want, but I don't want to go through all that. Just want to fix the photo quick. This is just the tutorial of how you can easily fix the photo. So I'm also going to click on the magic tool brush and then select some places that we didn't actually select. So that is that. Alright, so now I'm just going to press M and then we are back to normal, and then we're going to go to the editor, the color, what's it called? Yeah, color, and let's go to the not the white balance, the color editor, skin tone. So now we are going to go to the uniformity. Under uniformity, I'm just going to select a range with this one where I want the skin tone to look like. So I just want somewhere that looks actually nice. So I'm just going to take from let's see, beneath our clothes. Okay, let's say we want to look like this, and it's actually going to select the skin tone for us. Okay, so this looks more like this side and the rest. So I'm just going to spread it out, and then you can actually view selected range. So you see all our skin is selected except the background, which is ash, and also this black. So now let's adjust. Now we can make the hue uniform. The uniformity tab is where we are going to work with. So just increase the hue. First of all, you can see that a lot of on our skin have actually changed to. If I go turn off the skin layer, you can just see the difference. Check the color, the red is actually gone. So look, before we have red here, and bringing on this one, we actually adjusted the skin. So now we're not just doing just that alone, we are increasing the saturation also, and you just see how it's just going to make a little difference on that. So I'm not going to increase the lightness unless I feel like, oh, if the skin is just too not light enough, I can just increase it off. So let's just take it up and then bring it back down. Let's see what we're doing. So bringing it all the way up, what's the difference? Oh, makes the image flat, but we don't want that. Let's just take it down, and if you check, bringing it to the middle reduces, is like it's actually making some high frequency separation. So you can see that it adjusts just the black side. Take a look at this black side when I adjust the lightness. So look what's actually happening. You can see just it's actually making the color uniform. So let's just make it not too flat, just a little bit. Yeah, 35% actually is actually okay. We can actually increase the lightness or decrease the lightness here too, but you can see that. So if you want to create more dodge and burn, you can bring it all the way down. If you want it just a little bit smoother, you can take it all the way up. So let's take it back, and then let's see what we did with that lightness. Taking it back, taking it up, create a smooth transition on the skin tone, but just lighten up. So I'm just going to leave it just at 1 point or 2. Let's leave it at 2. Now let's take it down 1.5 or so. Yeah, 1.5, and then I'm going to reduce just this one also. Okay, so now let's increase the saturation. The hue, I don't normally touch this hue because it actually changes a lot of on our skin. So if I increase it all the way up, I guess it actually changes to kind of the yellow feel. Taking it all the way back, we give it, okay, so let's take it all the way back to give it that feel, the real skin tone type of feel, you can see. So taking it all the way up is like the yellow kind of skin tone, but I like this one the more. So I'm not going to take it all the way down, just a little bit to this side, and then I'm going to increase the saturation to make it real and come out the more. Let's zoom out and then let's see. Increase the saturation of the skin, not too much, just around 10 is okay. So let's see before and after. I'm just going to decrease this one by 1. Okay, so 1.1. This saturation down, so just to make things a little bit not too perfect. Okay, so this is okay. I'm going to increase the smoothness just a little bit, and and then let's see our before, so you can see before and after. So just a little bit difference that is actually big enough. Okay, so now let's continue. I'm going to do some for our lips. So create new empty layer and then go to the magic brush tool. I'm just going to zoom in and then I'm going to select our lips, just our lips alone, and then I'm going to hit end to see the range. Okay, capture one is actually now the lips is selected. Oh, okay, so hit end back, and then what we want to do with that, we want to adjust the saturation of it. Not that I want to make it uniform, just the saturation. So I'm just going to increase, let's go, okay, this one. I'm not just going to, no, we're not using the editor tool, we're using the exposure. So on the exposure, go to, close this one, come to the saturation, and then just a little bit to make the lip pop out the more. So you can see just a little before and after. So not too much. So I'm just still going to increase it to make it more pronounced. And that is that we are actually, good with the photo. So you can see just before white and then just after to bring it to bring out the image the more. So let's now make the what's it called, the subject pop out more than the background. So I'm just going to name this one lips, and then I'm going to create another new empty adjustment layer, and this time around I'm going to name it background. Okay, amazing. Yeah, amazing. So now on the background layer, I'm just going to click on the magic brush tool, then I'm going to select the background. Okay, so capture one I've selected. I'm just going to select this one also. So now that is being selected, you can do much more on the background. You can change the so let's click M first of all. You can change the color, you can color grade, you can do as many as anything you want. So what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to open the exposure tool, and I'm just going to decrease the brightness of that just a little bit, like that. Wow, brings out the image more, not the exposure, but the exposure is going to bring everything down. So I'm just going to take it just down like that, not too much. I'm also going to bring down the white. I'm going to bring down just mostly almost everything. If I bring down the blacks, it's actually going to create more dramatic look. Take a look at that. It looks awesome. Now you can tell the difference between the skirt and the what she's putting on and this, and her skin is actually coming out more on the background. So the shadows creates more depth. Wow. So interesting. Okay, so bring down the white just a little bit. Okay, so that is for the eye dynamic range. Now, if you want to create more contrast, that's up to you, but creating more contrast just a little bit for, and desaturate it. I think increasing the saturation, no, I don't buy that. So let's leave it like that. Just decrease the saturation. I just want to make the subject pop out the more. And now for our clothes. Okay, so for the skin, I can give you more structure. So let's go back to the skin layer and then increase the structure of our skin. Yeah, just now is enough. Okay, so now let's create one more adjustment layer. I just want to, should we touch the clothes? I feel it's actually okay like this, and the hair looks okay. So I'm just going to stop the editing process right here. You can actually, do more, but if you know you want to do more, you can, go to take it to, I like taking it to Photoshop to just do one or two things I want to do. So the hair, I can just leave the hair alone. So now it's actually okay for me. I feel I can actually create another empty fill layer, and then maybe increase the saturation as a whole. just a little bit like that. 9 is too much, just 7. Okay, so we have just this overall fill saturation. So this is how I'm going to edit this photo. So let's quickly do before and then you see after. Just look at the way it's actually looking dramatic. So you can actually just go inside and make more adjustments. Like the air right now, I can actually adjust it and make. Okay, let's do just one more layer. Let's turn this one. Let's put the layer before this one. Add empty layer 2. Is that it? Yeah, I want it below this. So on the layer 2, I'm going to select the mask and then I'm going to select the air. So let's see what one can actually take out of that. Hit M on the keyboard and see this selected color range. So I'm just going to keep selecting places that I want to be part of it. Okay, so to erase it from places I don't want, I'm going to click on those two, brush tool, increase the size and then erase it. So be sure to erase it from places you don't want it to be. So I don't want it to be on the eyes, I don't want it to be there. Okay, so you don't need to select all of that, just a little bit place, and I just want to give more structure to the air and nothing more. So let's go. Just imagine changing the air color. I can just imagine that. So first of all, I'm going to go to the structure and then increase the structure, and I want to go to the editor tool, color editor, and then I'm going to color editor. So I'm just going to choose a color I want the air to look like too. So I feel this fine brownish color is actually okay. Yeah, you can choose this side. So we have that full range. And I know let's just zoom on the air, and then let's increase the uniformity, the uniformity. I'm not going to touch the lightness here. Also, got to change the hue, either this or this. I guess I like this one. Looks pretty okay to me. You may not see the difference now, but maybe you will later on. So okay, so let's see. Increasing the lightness, how does it feel? Decreasing the lightness, yeah, brings out our face more. So increasing lightness, there is still more of our face. So I'm just going to reset and then decrease the lightness just a little bit. Now if you feel like, oh, you want to change the hue of that, or you know what to do to change the hue. So you can go to your basic and then or you go to color balance. Then you can just change things around. So I like that feel, this one, but taking it all the way up. I'm actually changing all. So I just want to leave it. Like I said, don't change the picture too much. So I feel it's too saturated now, and I feel this is actually okay. So desaturating it, I don't want that. Yes, let's desaturate it just a little bit, and then we're good to go. So I guess the desaturation is actually working fine for me. All right, so we can make this color look a little bit okay on our than the background, but that will be Photoshop. So that's the end of the tutorial. Let's check before and then after, before and then after. So actually created this lovely, beautiful, dramatic image from this to this. So this is the end of the tutorial. Thank you guys for staying tuned with us. If you enjoyed the video we post, don't forget to subscribe. If you're new, if you enjoy the content we are sharing, don't forget to like, don't forget to hit turn on the notification button if you've not, to get updated on the things we're actually posting here on the channel. So thank you so much, guys, for your support. Thank you so much, everyone, for one way or the other you have actually, supported the channel. I want to give a big shout out. So, all right. So our next tutorial is coming soon on Capture One. So be sure to stay tuned. Thank you.